Hi there. This is Hetty, also known as Heather. Just kind of reaching out just to, I guess, say, hey, yay. This is a happy 13th, I guess, reunion for me. Um, I had my third awake brain surgery done um, February 12th, um, 2010. So a few days from now. But went into the hospital on the 1st for the in-depth electrodes, to kind of see exactly, mapping it out, where to go and what's safe to take out, um, and then do the awake brain surgery, when we mapped it out and found, what was good and what wasn't. And the surgery was just amazing. Being done awake, it was quite entertaining. I love to entertain people. And so I'm so grateful to God, like literally, that I'm fearless. So I don't know why. It has probably something to do with my brain, because I definitely don't take after my mom. I have a lot of anxiety in the family, and thankfully I have zero. So I guess because God's like, well, you're gonna have epilepsy, so I'll take the anxiety away. I don't know. But anyway, it was quite the amazing surgery. I definitely had battles personally afterward. Um, I the medicine that numbs the body, it's just weight and balance as to like the weight and like how much a body personally needs, as to like how much medicine has a person taken, is the body like used to medication or not, so they try to weigh in balance as to how much of the numbing and the pain medicine my body would need to get me through the lengthy surgery. And it was short by about 45, 50 minutes or so. And when that hit, I mean, they could see it, and I sure knew it. And my entire body was just killing there on the table. Thank God you can't move your head. And I have such a crazy headache, and all the way down my body is just in utter pain. And of course, they asked me if I still want to continue. And I'm like, after all this time, after first brain surgery, second brain surgery, I really don't want to come in for a fourth, So I'm like trying to slowly tell them, because it hurts so bad to talk. I'm trying to slowly tell them, please continue. But wow, it was excruciating. And so something with all of that kind of nicked something with my nerve and nerve pain for a while in my whole entire body. I was just kind of I was basically hard to live with for a while. I can't really say a while. It was for a pretty lengthy time. And then like different weathers would affect it. Philadelphia, Florida, just different fronts. Every so often I really do still get that. Like living in Seattle, it's really damp. Fled that place. Just, I really have to pick the right place. I'm technically from Phoenix, so I think my body's also just very used to dry heat, or at least a dryness, even in the winter. And so even living here in Idaho, we definitely are dry. Even though we get snow and rain and such, we don't get this constant humidity. So, and it's beautiful. And all my cats just love the deer. So, I really do enjoy, living here over, constant hot heat, even though I love the suntans there way better. The vitamin D is fantastic. But I had to change medications so many times after. So that really added to a lot of problems that I endured. It's very difficult, to keep changing and changing and changing, which, of course adds to migraines on top of this already, kind of hurting after, all these surgeries. And then weather definitely fronts will make my surgical site hurt. So that's another reason why I try to stay away from really crazy weather. The fronts that come in, monsoon seasons, barometric pressure will just make that surgical site just pound. It feels like I'm almost going through the surgery. So I try to stay places where it's a little more just constant and not so up and down. Rain, constant weird up and down rain, or constant really hard rain is really hard. Or even Phoenix, Arizona's monsoon season is really tough on me. So I lived in Botox living there. So all the medication changes, I was just up and down really sick off that. And had to come off, of course, pain medicine. You can't live on that. That was horrifying. 2 years of that. I couldn't do that. You have to have your brain matter back. So, there was a lot of changes I had to go through, and then living in the right place was the greatest benefit. But the weirdest thing is that I got this really strange gift, literally from the third brain surgery. Because it's a third, this is taking more and more out of my dominant side. And it wound up making my right side a little bit, not completely, but a little bit more dominant, and especially in certain areas. And all of a sudden, I just loved art. And I've been awful at it my entire life. I just needed to do art. I wanted all forms of art. I think I started with jewelry. I moved on to pottery. I moved on to, painting. I mean, I have all these and different forms of it too. Just all these crazy different forms I just wound up loving. And I still do to this very day. All because, this was taken out again, and my colors are very bright. So my art's very different, but it's very fun. So no matter what, you can find benefits other than just being seizure free. It's very interesting. So went through that. But I did go through a couple things following. I did have, not pertaining necessarily to that, I just have a really sensitive sometimes brain. Even though it's wired really well. I mean, it's really hard to explain. I don't know if it was a certain medicine I was taking or what. No one really could explain it. But what tipped this off, I had like a really mini stroke and I couldn't speak except 4 words, which I dare not even say what they were, for almost 4 days. My verbiage was gone. And for about 3-4 hours in the middle of the night, my whole body was just completely paralyzed. It has to be one of the weirdest, freakiest moments. You think you're never going to be able to say your daughter's name again. It was really wild. And that was way back in 2012. And then end of 2016, same month too, it was really, I had weird issues in September. I was trying to take a little bit of the CBD and for my pain. And I tried it a couple times and it was okay. I went back in, same place, and this kid seemed so wasted off this stuff. A type of it, obviously. And he's just rattled, looking for the kind I would buy. And I'm just like, God, I hope this is it. I mean, it looked like it, They don't really have big labels, so I didn't know really how to find out. I'm like, okay, it looks like it. So I take a little tiny miniature little dab of it, go out to the pool with my daughter, and all of a sudden my brain just begins to fry. I begin saying weird stuff. I start running around, freaking out, and then everything starts to really go back into just even worse. My heart slowed down until it absolutely stopped, and I stopped breathing. And they wind up doing CPR on me. I mean, it just seems like I had a couple lists after that. And like, they don't pertain to the surgery. It just seems like, I don't know why, I'm just case. But overall, I mean, going to Mayo Clinic, they just treat you like a high up person, and no matter what you're going through, whether it's related to it or not, they want you to come to them and figure things out and make sure, obviously, it's not related to it. But I have the best doctors there. I mean, my neurologist himself is seriously more like a family member than he is a doctor. He's just got such a big heart. I went through a lot of medication changes too because my ex-husband beat me, and I wound up having to change back and forth with my lifetime medication since I was a year old, was phenobarbital. And you just don't think you have to stop taking that seriously or that. So every so often we'd retry it because I kept overdosing after he beat me on it. I'm like, there's just no way that's not me. I don't even drink. And so, I found Jesus. So we're like, well, let's try it again. And I'd wind up overdosing in these huge quantities and amounts. It's just not possible that people still live through that. People back in the day killed themselves off barbiturates, and it just kept continuing. And all these different periods of time that were just ridiculous. And it just got to a final point where I had such a quantity of it, Seattle, that I shouldn't be sitting here right now. And so, to this day, I'm just so grateful that I'm off everything that, is a control substance that, you shouldn't have to rely upon, that I really used things as a crutch back then, and I just had to learn that, oh my gosh, I tried to take my life how many times in a row this year, that year, and I started counting it up, and that final one, there was just no excuse for it. Was it bad weather? What was it? So yeah, please, there was just, I'm not that there's an excuse for any of it. So again, I guess that's why I list, the suicide hotline on this, just because I've been through that, so just if you ever do have issues in that area, please reach out. But more so, of course, please, always come to me at any time, talk about epilepsy, talk about, tests. I've had crazy, amazing tests at Mayo Clinic. Their stuff is just so of the future. And then, all the devices that are available, I didn't want to go that direction. I definitely wanted everything possible taken out, not anything really put in. That's just my aspect of things. I've known people with great outcome, of RNS and such, but it just, I already have such bad migraines. I can't imagine stuff going into my head right now. So that really wasn't something I was really looking forward to. But so beside the point, but I've been on, I think, every medication, except for, so if you ever want my personal input, I can give you that, but I know everyone really does have different, effects from everything. But, and again, if you're ever looking into, you need a piece of art or something, just let me know. Everything's usually bright and cheery, really bright and cheery. So just let me know, and I can always try to stir something up for you. But anyway, that's just a little, sorry it's been so long since I've ever made a video, and I was going to open this up so long ago. But I've had so many years of just trials and tribulations. But overall, it's been really great success. And this so far has been the greatest year of my life. I'm back in church. I'm back to art. I'm back to working out with a trainer. I'm back to doing everything in the house the way I've always wanted to, decor-wise. It's just, I don't know. And then I've got all my kitties. I've got 2 brand new kitties along with my other ones. I'm a kitty fanatic, so I don't know. And then we just travel all the time too, along with my husband's work, and we go and we do other things along with it. So we just have had really, it's been an awesome time just recently. So just know things do change. and they do change for the better. Anyway, again, my name's Hetty, and I just always look forward to talking to any of you. Any questions, just message me, or leave me a number and I can give you a call. Anyway, have a great, I think it's a kind of an almost coming weekend, and hope your weather is well. We actually had a little bit of sun. Hope you have a great night.